What's up, guys? Rip Trippers here again tonight. It's pretty late. It's around midnight, but I thought I'd share something with you guys. PG, is it safe? Um, I, as of now, I'm vaping 100% BG juice. I do have PG, e-liquids. Mostly, I vape. If I'm going to vape anything PG, it's going to be 70 VG, 30 PG, or 90 VG, 10 PG. I found that I'm really sensitive to PG. Um, so I decided to do some research. And for the past week, I've just done research on PG, the history, what it is, and all that good stuff. And I found that PG is an organic compound. I'm not going to go into all the details about what it's made up of because I'm not a chemist. But I went on and I found sites, sources. Below, I'll have a link to those sites so you can check them out. So basically, what I found, I dragged off some of the things that I'm going to read to you. Hopefully, this video won't be too long. But I thought this stuff was really cool, and I'd like to share it with you. So basically, PG. So from one of the sources, here's what it said. Back in the late 30s, researchers at the University of Chicago stumbled on its effectiveness as a germ killer, as related in the Times Magazine story from November 16, 1942. 1942. And they were, testing propylene glycol in the late 30s. Pretty cool. So what they said a powerful preventive against pneumonia, influenza, and other respiratory diseases may be promised by a brilliant series of experiments conducted during the last 3 years at the University of Chicago's Billings Hospital. Dr. Oswald Hope Robertson last week was making final tests with a new germicidal vapor propylene glycol, to sterilize the air. So they are using this stuff to sterilize the air. If the results so far obtained are confirmed, one of the age-old searches of man will finally achieve its goal. So I thought that was really cool. So here's another thing they said. The researchers found that the propylene glycol itself was a potent germicide. 1 part of glycol in 2 million parts of air would within a few seconds kill concentrations of air-suspended bacteria numbering millions to the cubic feet. That's crazy. So basically what they were doing in this, in the hospitals, where they were running the propylene glycol in the air vents to kill germs. And it worked. And I thought that was amazing. I mean, think about it. If you're a vapor out there and you like to vape that PG, like, I don't know, 70 PG, 30 VG, or 100 PG, I mean, it's going to be really hard for you to get sick because basically what it's doing is it's a germicide, so it's killing all the bacteria that's in your body. It's just killing it. So really cool. I thought I'd share that with you guys. Another thing, this is cool. They have had also PG has been used in inhalers for asthma since the 1950s. I read that, and below I have a link to all that stuff. This is funny. So about a few weeks ago, this guy I know, he's got asthma, and he smokes cigarettes. And it's funny, but he rolls his own cigarettes, and he uses supposedly what he told me is this natural tobacco. It doesn't have any pesticides and all that stuff. Well, I've been trying to convert him to vaping for the past few weeks, and he's about to kick my ass because I keep bugging him about it. I know I shouldn't, but I'm gung-ho about this vaping, guys. I really am gung-ho about it, and I really believe in it. So I was talking to him, a few days ago, and I was like, "Come on, man, you got to change over. You got to switch over to vaping, brother." And he goes, "Man, there's chemicals in that." And I said, "Well, you got asthma, right? I mean, you told me you had asthma. You use an inhaler?" And he was like, "Yeah, I've been using an inhaler for years." And I was like, "Well, guess what? One of those key ingredients that's in the juices that vapors use to vape is also in your inhaler. And you've been using that same ingredient for years. So you're getting the same stuff, brother." And he looked at me and he was like, really? And I was like, "Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good stuff. Check it out. So I thought that was really cool. Um, Also, and I'm going to be quick, guys. I'm not going to drag this on. I don't want to do that. But I just thought these were cool things to point out for you guys. Basically, another thing is that, okay, they had a group, some doctors did a study. And I don't know when this was. I think this was pretty recent. But I'm not totally sure because it doesn't mention any dates. But they had a room full of monkeys and rats. In one room they had it to where the vents, it was just, had regular air, nothing. And then in another room they had the propylene glycol coming through the vents. And basically they found no difference, and they tested for months and months and months, and there was no difference between the room that was just pumping the regular air versus the propylene glycol. So there was no side effects. They tested the kidneys, the liver, the spleen, the bone marrow, and all that stuff, and nothing was found. So I thought that was really cool. Also, in another study, they did a study on rats, and it was just rats in this study, and they used let me see if I can find it real quick because I want to make sure I get this totally accurate. One second. Okay, basically what they did, so they used propylene glycol on rats. So they put it in the air vent, and they also had a virus going in the air vent, and then they used another group of rats where they just put the virus, whatever you want to call it, in the air vent. So the virus is going in the air vent. Without the propylene glycol. Well, those rats died that just had the virus going in there because they got sick. But the group of rats that they pumped the propylene glycol with the virus lived. Every single one of them. So wicked cool. And I thought I'd share that with you. Now back to the propylene glycol, how it affects me. Now I've realized also that propylene glycol is in almost everything that you consume on a daily basis, that you eat, like toothpaste, among other things, many other things. I use toothpaste every day. I eat the foods, the artificial flavors, yada yada yada, that have this propylene glycol in it, and I don't notice anything. It doesn't affect me. So here's what I think. First of all, the propylene glycol, when I vape it, I'm real sensitive to it. It causes me to have phlegm, mucus buildup, and that's basically it. And also, if I don't drink a lot of water while using the PG, I'll get dehydrated more. I'll get more dehydrated, and I know that's something, that may be something to do with the nicotine as well. So I have to drink a lot of water. But when I vape the VG, I don't see that. I don't have to drink nearly as much water. So I know it's the PG. Not that that's bad. I'll just drink more water. So basically, the only thing that gets me is the snot buildup. And I know it's gross, but that's how it affects me. Now reading that it's a germicide, now I'm kind of thinking, well, guess what? Maybe it's trying to get bacteria out of my system that I have, because everyone's got some sort of, there's bacteria everywhere. And so maybe it's trying to clean my system out. So I don't know, probably. But I thought I'd share this, guys, with you, and I hope this helps. Below, I'm going to have a link to everything that all the sources that I read out, so you can check it out. And there's tons and tons more stuff you guys can read up on that has to do with propylene glycol. So, in a nutshell, what I read basically said it's harmless, it's safe, and it's a germicide, which is cool. This is Rip Trippers. You guys keep on vaping.